hear these words of Murshid. Murshid is speaking here of the ocean of worldly life, the ocean of samsara. There are some who sink and some who swim, others who walk over the water. Those who are drowned in life's misery are those who cannot get out of it. They are tied down in the depths of life. They cannot get out and they are miserable there. They are the ones who sink. Then there are others who are swimming. They are those who strive through the conflicting conditions of life in order someday to reach the shore. There are, however, others who walk upon life. Theirs is the life which is symbolically expressed in the miracle of Christ walking upon the water. It is like living in the world and not being of the world, touching the world and not being touched by it. So Murshid is evoking here a theme found in Sanskrit poetry, the theme of Bhavasagara, which is to say the maelstrom, the whirlpool of the sea, as a great vortex, a swirling vortex that sucks you in and pulls you down, and you can't escape. And you're inexorably pulled down into the abyss. Life can be like this. The illusionary life of spiritual ignorance, of egotism. There's so many hardships in life. And if one isn't careful, one is knocked off balance and drawn in and whirled round. This is the danger, to succumb and to be lost, to be broken, to lose one's way in worldliness. We inhale, let me not be drowned. Exhaling, in the sea of mortal life. And then there are those who swim heroically, who struggle against the maelstrom, and strive with all their might, and learn even to swim down under the waves and rise up again, to overmaster the churning gyre. In Sanskrit, taran means swimming, but it also means liberation, freedom. These are the masters who struggle with life and attain greatness. Swimming is an art. Navigating this world is an art. Byron speaks of the enthusiasm of swimming well when he writes, "How many a time have I cloven with arm still lustier, breast more daring, the wave all roughened, with a swimmer's stroke, flinging the billows back from my drenched hair, and laughing from my lips the audacious brine." But there's still another way. There's the way of those who succumb and are pulled down and are drowned. There's the way of those who struggle and swim and stay afloat. And then there is the way of those who ascend and walk upon the water. As Christ did on the Sea of Galilee. To become so light, to become so free, to become so filled with peace that one steps upon the waves. Peter followed after Jesus and walked some steps, but when the wind picked up, he began to sink, had to be rescued by Jesus because his faith was not complete. It was the complete faith of Jesus that allowed him to walk on water. Complete trust in the One. We inhale, "Teach me, Lord, to walk," and exhale, "Over life's sea." Teach me, Lord, to walk. Exhale, over life's sea. We appeal to the uplifter, Ya Rafi, Ya Rafi, Ya Rafi. Ya Rabbi, 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 Ya Rabbi. Murshid says, the music of the spheres, according to the point of view of the mystic, is like the lighthouse in the port that one sees from the sea. It promises one that one is coming nearer to the destination. The beacon that draws you to the safety of shore through the crashing waves and jutting rocks is a music. It's the symphony of the heavens. And that music itself is oceanic. That music itself bestows waves, numinous waves, that are discerned through the inner senses. In ever finer, ever vaster dimensions. Man is closer to God than the fishes are to the ocean, says Murshid. We are already immersed in these 7 spiritual seas. We are aswim in them without knowing it. And so Hazrat Sheikh Nizamuddin Aurangabadi said, visualize yourself as a fish in a sea of light, without floor or shore, so that everything that you encounter is another wave of the light of the endless ocean in which you swim. And he says, go further then and realize that it is the ocean that swims in itself as the fish. You are a fish in the ocean, but it is the ocean that is swimming in the ocean. The fish is the ocean miniaturized, personified, swimming inside itself to know itself. We sometimes exclaim, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. And that expression of glorification derives from a three-letter root, sabaha. And that root refers to swimming. Sabaha is swimming. The glorified one is the one in whom one swims. Swimming itself is glorification. Floating, being buoyed on rising and falling waves. Have you floated on your back in the ocean under the sun? If you have, you'll know what I mean. The incessant rhythm, the downpouring light, cascading down through the sky, the oceanic feeling, that feeling of cosmic immersion that gives rise to a sense of glorification. All of that is conjured up by the word Subhanallah. And you might think of the seraphim with their 6 wings gliding in waves of glory. And do not think of yourself as different from them. There is in each of us a Shahid fis Sama, angelic counterpart that is at this very moment floating and glorifying in the waves of the divine fez, the divine emanations that keep pouring out constantly, ever new, never finished. Just as the light that reaches us from the sun comes in wave after wave after wave. So being itself gushes forth in waves of light and vibration. And in the finer, vaster, subtler depths of being, we are present to this. We're glorying there. Inhaling, my head bends in humility and rises with thy might. Exhaling, as the ever-rising waves of the sea. My head bends in humility. You're dissolving, you're giving yourself up, giving yourself over to the wave. And then you're lifted up by the might of that wave in the ever-rising waves of the sea.